So I'm going to talk on the unique one, the Manta. The Manta, well, all of them in general, I can show the general features as far as our hydration. All of our hydration systems come with a bladder. Most of them come with 3-liter bladder. Some of them come with a 2-liter bladder. It depends on how big the pack is itself. Has a dedicated sleeve for that bladder, and the bladder itself is very unique. When we started making hydration and started thinking about hydration, we went through all the issues that are common in the industry, right? So what issues do you have with your bladder? When it's, get this helmet over there. First and foremost, biggest complaint has always been when your bladder is full of water, I can't get it back in the pack. And this pack has, has a shell in it, it has gloves, it has bike tools. So it's not an empty pack, and it almost wants to go in by itself. That's probably the coolest thing about these packs, is that the bladder fits well, and it fits when the pack itself is full. One of my favorite things about the pack is that when you want to go fill it with water, you have a handle on the bladder. Put it under the faucet, fill it up, pull it away. Your bladder never gets wet, only from the inside. So there's no drooping on the bottom and hanging into the sink, and there's no like fiddling and fussing and things are slipping all over the place. The handle makes it so much easier to fill your bladder. There's nothing like starting the day off with your pack wet because your bladder got wet when you were trying to fill it. The other thing to notice about this bladder is there is an actual rigid back to this. So this has form and structure to it. How many of you have a concave back that fits your bladder perfectly? No one. Everyone has a pretty flat back. The contours of this are meant to fit the contours of your back so that it's stable and it doesn't slosh around quite as much. And there's nothing like trying to balance on your bike and almost tipping over because your water bladder is bobbling all over the place, because it's basically a tube of water in your backpack. We wanted to take the tube of water aspect away from bladder systems. And then, it's hard to see, but on the inside here there's an actual groove that fits the handle of the bladder, and it's V-shaped so that it finds the inside of that groove and then just settles in and sits down. So when this is filled with water, it almost wants to just fall right into place. But if you don't like our bladders for some reason, insanity runs in some families, there is a little hanger that's tucked away, but it is something that you can access, so you can hang other bladders inside the little sleeve. So that's not unique to the Manta series. What's unique to the Manta series is the back panel's removed. So this is more of our hiking series. A little bit more ventilation in the back. They're made in a little bit bigger sizes for hiking specific. You tend to pack a little bit more than you do, say, cycling. The hip belts have zippered pockets on them, so you can stash the easy stuff like goo. And then it does have a little loop for you to hook on a helmet, so if you did want to use this cycling or skiing or whatever, you could hook your helmet on there pretty easily. But it's not super secure. It's not like the lid lock where it's not going to flap around. It still flops around a little bit. And then, unlike the rest of the series, this guy does come with a rainfly. So, and stow on the go. The trekking pole system where you can stash your trekking pole pretty easily. So a lot of hiking features built into this. Unlike the other 3 series we have, they're a little bit more biking specific. Any questions on the Mantas? They come in 20, 25, and 30 liters. So you can find the size that works for you. And I almost forgot the coolest thing about the hydration system, which is the magnetic sternum strap. You would think I could get buckles. I'm an Osprey rep. There we go. So, right there in your face, pretty easy to access. When you want to drink, you drink. When you don't want to drink, you let it go and it falls into place pretty easily. It's a pretty nice feature. If you were to buy just the hydration bladder by itself, it does come with a little clip-on sternum strap that you could, or clip-on sternum piece to any sternum strap direction. The other 3 series we have, the Raptor, the Viper, and the Verb, are a little bit more cycling specific. You don't have the removed back panel, so not as ventilated, but that's not something that's necessarily important when you're cycling, because you want that to be as close to your center of gravity as possible. You don't want it removed just to throw you off a little bit. Still have that dedicated sleeve for a hydration bladder. And the Raptors are built with all sorts of organization that's bike specific. So I wasn't lying. It's filled with all sorts of biking stuff. You have your tube pocket, you have the pump pockets here and here. You've got the stretch exterior for quick access to just about anything. And all of our Raptors are not built with zippered hip belt pockets. They have stretch hip belt pockets. And the idea behind that is the last thing you want to do when you're on the bike and you want to get at your goo or your power bar is to fiddle with a zipper and take your hands off your handlebar. So you have one hand on your handlebar, grab into your pocket, eat it, throw the trash back in the pocket pretty easy. That way you can keep your hand on your handlebar. You're safer. We care about our customers, their safety. As far as that, it's the Raptor.